The city assembled from moving steel plates seemed to shrink back in fright, hastily packing up its stalls as it urged everyone to cease trading and return home immediately. It then swiftly severed connections with other iron towns, breaking off into solitary units. Amid billowing smoke, every house fired up its engines and fled in panic toward different directions. Yet, in this critical moment, the mining town's power system stubbornly refused to start. As the colossal entity behind drew nearer, the residents hurriedly sped up their repairs. Meanwhile, the city lord merely watched it all in silence. His London was the world's largest mobile fortress. Through ruthless pillaging and destruction, it had already absorbed dozens of such small and mid-sized towns. Now, London opened its gaping maw. Just as the mining town finally restored its power, the mayor yanked the steering wheel hard, swerving clear at the very last moment before being devoured. But London gave relentless chase. The small town pushed full throttle along the rugged mountain path, fleeing for its life, too terrified to slow down even as it was shaken nearly to pieces. It even dumped its hard-earned harvested grain to lighten the load and increase speed. Still, London closed in step by step, wholly unimpressed by the mining town's desperate tricks. Right then, the mayor spotted a mountain to the side, a narrow gap cut right through it, just wide enough to squeeze through. He instantly swung the steering wheel toward the opening. What he hadn't expected was a deep ravine ahead. Fortunately, he noticed just in time and cranked the wheel sharply, but after such violent maneuvering, the town could hold on no longer. Walls cracked, the water tower toppled, and even a wheel broke loose and flew off. London promptly launched its chains. Countless steel claws shot toward the mining town, digging deep into its walls. The residents fell into despair, while London's elites roared with excitement. To them, this was merely a game of survival of the fittest. As London opened its jaws once more, the mining town's struggles proved futile. Giant teeth bit into the ground, scooping the town upward before, dragged by chains, it slowly slid into the abyss. Towed into its designated position, the mining town's people had nowhere left to run. They were forced to surrender all belongings and line up for inspection, eventually categorized as either laborers or slaves for London. London would pick out useful items for recycling. Valuables were placed in museums for display, while worthless scraps were tossed into furnaces as fuel to power the city. Tom, the sole archaeologist in the city, would always visit the recycling station at times like these. He had a fondness for historical artifacts and held a deep curiosity about human life centuries ago. This time, he luckily found a toaster, only for the city lord to snatch it from his hands. The Lord urged Tom not to waste time on such junk, advising him to search instead for original weapon parts left by the ancients. Yet, unbeknownst to the Lord, Tom had long hidden away an entire room of quantum nuclear components. Well versed in history, he knew it was precisely such weapons that had destroyed Earth. Determined to prevent humanity from repeating its mistakes, he planned to discard these terrifying devices when London passed through the marshlands. The city lord, however, remained oblivious. Putting on a friendly front to appease the newly enslaved mining town residents, he was suddenly approached by a masked girl who drove a sharp blade deep into his abdomen. As she moved to strike again, Tom quickly stepped in and stopped her. Her mask fell away, revealing a woman with a scarred face. Tom was no match for her in combat. With a single move, she knocked him to the ground. Guards nearby noticed the disturbance and rushed over. The woman dashed through the crowd and leaped into the waste processing chamber, with Tom close behind. Inside the factory, the dismantling of the mining town was underway. Countless saws cut through walls and ground down streets, nimbly dodging spark-showering blades. The woman used her familiarity with the mining town's layout to finally jump out through a rooftop opening. Yet Tom followed right after, miraculously making it out as well. The two sprinted onto a platform and ran straight into the fuel chamber, where shredded fragments of the town were being dumped into a smelter by massive steel claws. The released energy would power London. Just then, the city lord pursued them via elevator. In desperation, the woman fled into a small room at the rear, passed through a long corridor, and reached a waste discharge outlet. Cornered and out of options, she climbed over the railing and jumped. But Tom appeared again, grabbing hold of her. Knowing the city lord's cruelty all too well, the woman would rather die than return as his slave. She told Tom that the lord had killed his mother, Hester, then broke free from his grip and fell. The arriving city lord, seeing the woman dead, eased with relief. As he turned to leave, Tom asked, "Who is Hester?" The lord's expression shifted instantly. Suddenly, he kicked through the railing and shoved Tom over the edge.